Today we heard from Shohei Ohtani.
Yes, we did.
Finally, on the gambling controversy that has seen his reputation, Dodgers' reputation, his interpreter's reputation be thrown into a decidedly undecided area. What's happening now? Major League Baseball investigating. There's a separate investigation going on of his interpreter, Ippei Masuhara, who allegedly, according to Ohtani, took $4.5 million of Ohtani's money to pay off his gambling debts. Now, gambling in California, illegal. This is a big thing. As we said when this story first broke, this is weeks, not days. But today, Ohtani addressed everybody and the media and the public. And if I'm Ohtani, I really think if I'm I need a couple of interpreters now. Like, I can't just have just one interpreter because, can you trust one guy? I want like 3 interpreters so I can get from one guy to be a control guy to go, okay, is that exactly what he said? Can you tell me that's exactly what he said coming up here? Because I want to trust the interpreter here. Is the interpreter saying exactly what Ohtani said? Now you tell me what was said. And then you know what? That's great. Now I'm going to go to the third guy. Is what he said right? You got to have this. There's got to be control set up now.
But 7 years? It's a 7-year ruse. I mean, this is Frank Abagnale. This is catch me if you can.
Come on out, Frank. Frank, there's nobody out here, Frank. Frank.
He kept up this ruse and fooled multiple levels of people, including Ohtani, for almost 7 years.
I got 20 federal agents out here, Frank. You're not getting out, Frank. Come on out, Frank.
Comic books. It's Barry Allen is the Flash.
So here was Ohtani's opening statement from today, talking about what happened and the money that was allegedly taken from him to pay off his interpreter's gambling debts.
これがそこまでの流れなので、僕はもちろんスポーツ賭博にはもちろん関与していないですし、ブックメーカーにさっきも言いましたけど送金をしていたという事実は全く、ありません。
So, in conclusion, I do want to make it clear that I never betted on sports or have willfully sent money to the bookmaker.
正直ショックという、言葉が正しいとは思わないですし、それ以上のうまく言葉では表せないような、感覚でこの1週間ぐらいはずっと過ごしてきたので、今はそれをうまく言葉にするのは、難しいなと思っています。
To summarize how I'm feeling right now, I'm just beyond shocked. It's really hard to verbalize how I am feeling at this point.
ただもうシーズンも本格的にスタートするので、ここからは弁護士の、方々にもお任せしますし、僕自身も、警察当局の、協力に全面的に協力したいなと思っています。
And the season's going to start, so I'm going to obviously let my lawyers handle matters from here on out, and I am completely assisting in all investigations that are taking place right.
So there's Ohtani's statement today. Kind of a recap. He didn't gamble, didn't cover any bets with money. He said there was a business relationship with Ippei, which I'm like, he'd been around them a long time. Real business, 7 years, every day.
Vassay over at AM 570 LA Sports kept referring it to him being like a brother.
Yeah.
And that's how they palled around for 7 years, almost.
We heard.
Inseparable.
Look, what did John Palmarosi tell us? There's no Shohei without Ippei. Right. Everywhere you go, they're together all the time. So I'll tell you what I believe and what I don't believe about this. The one thing I believe after today is I believe that Shohei did not bet on baseball, and he probably didn't bet at all. Because it's so easy to prove. This is something where you're following the money and the money trail and where the money is coming from. It's too easy to prove.
But it's not.
Right?
It's
pretty easy to prove. Hey,
but
the money's coming from your account here.
Ippei,
if Shohei
go
Ohtani,
and take care of that.
But here's the thing: if Shohei Ohtani did this, if he did this, then it would be pretty easy to get back at some point that Ohtani was, and to be this forward facing of it and to be very public about it. It is not how you act if you think you can be proven. You wouldn't speak. It would be a lot of stuff would be under the cloak of darkness. You would simply say it's legal ongoing. I can't comment, all these different things. But the fact that he came out and said that, I don't think he bet on it. And at the very least, I don't think they'll be able to go back and say, okay, so I believe that he didn't bet, because if he did, it would be because there's, like I said, there's different investigations.
Yeah.
There's the MLB investigation, which you say, okay, what are they really going to look for? But then there's also the legal investigation on it. Yeah. There's the gambling aspect of it. Where are they getting the money from? It would be pretty easy to prove. The fact that he's out here with this part of it tells you that, okay, the betting on baseball thing, that's not him.
Yeah, I would still come back to the credibility of Ipe has been absolutely decimated, right? The degree that he claimed and attendance at university, gone. Work history, gone. Like, all of that. So if you're just going straight down who are you going to believe? Like, even if this guy now suddenly tells 100% the truth, he's got no credibility.
No. Look, Ohtani's going to be insulated from all of this.
But that's what I'm saying, right? So I understand where you're coming from in terms of the strength of that statement. We've had a lot of people get in front of podiums before and is he going to dare everybody? Is he going to dare you to find out and then you come up with something like that's you just don't. But as long as that's just not what people do. When if I did this text message and doesn't have
you have no idea
data.
What's going to happen. You could have somebody say, "I talked to Shohei Ohtani. I have a conversation on my phone. I have this. I have this." He doesn't know everything that's out there about this, especially if this is such a long gambling. Yeah. I mean, $4.5 million. You're gambling for a while, right? Let it ride on Northwestern. Give me Northwestern all the way into the Final Four.
By the way, Reese Davis, the sure money bet he gave out did come in.
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
Perhaps the dumbest line ever uttered by a professional in our world, other than the guys on the dial me now, I'm 82-0, 82-0 against the line. But yeah, it's one of those that I listened to it, I watched it, I paused, and then I wrote down a lot of questions.
Yeah, it's just for Ohtani's aspect to say, hey, he's not you want to investigate me, roll the dice and take your chance, right? He's not
Jim Mulkey.
He's not Jessup and a few good men. He's not. He's saying, listen, I never, and when you say something like that, very definitive, and when you could be outed as lying again, because already there's the prospect that there was lying because you had Ipe's first comments to ESPN, which were, yeah, he covered my gambling debts, and then it was, no. It was stolen. Right, exactly.
Because that's the part that keeps getting left out in the revisionist history of this story now of changing. Like, spokespeople were there for him. Right? Like, it wasn't just, hey, it's Ipe by himself.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But that gets the part of what I don't believe. But to believe that they're not going to find out that he was gambling. They're not. Because it's such a thing, because the media, the fifth estate, is going to take that as a challenge. Oh, okay, challenge accepted. You said you didn't bet, I'm going to find. Now, they're still going to go through everything they can, but you don't, and he's not the kind of person that would come out and say that if it wasn't the truth, or if it wasn't something that 100% this is locked.
But do we know anything about Shohei Ohtani? And this is where we get into a larger thing.
Yeah, but
it took us months to find out the name of his damn dog.
Yeah.
And then he had a girlfriend become wife, and ex-teammates like, I didn't know this woman existed.
Yeah, but that's all personal things he can control. He can't control this investigation. He doesn't control what the government finds. He doesn't control what people say. Like Ohtani, I don't think you're talking about Ohtani. Suddenly he's like, I'm the mayor of this town and I got everybody under control. That's just not the way he's been.
Was.
This is now something that is bigger than him. So I really, if you find out that he was actually, I would be really stunned, because I would say, boy, this is the biggest faux pas they made, was actually coming out with that statement so people could think they were lying when Ipe said, oh, he's covering my gambling debts, only then to find out that was disputed by Ohtani. Like, that was stupid. This would be even more stupid. You're really going to say that? If this was if Ohtani didn't speak and he continued to stay behind the scenes and not talking about it, that's where I go, ooh, they're really trying to figure out what they can prove and what they can't. What are we vulnerable for and what are we not? Again, I'm watching a lot of Bosch, but you have to figure out exactly what we have to worry about, that what can come back and bite us. But when you come out not too long after and say, look, I didn't do it, I didn't get, I really can't see that happening. We're going to find out Ohtani was gambling, and it gets traced back.
Yeah,
to
we'll
him.
continue with the stuff in terms of disbelief and stuff that still needs to fill in the proverbial blanks. But I did tweet out before he took to the podium that he should walk out there like Ric Flair, and that statement of I didn't bet this and I didn't do that. That's about as close as you can do verbally.